Hey guys, Black Screen Max here coming at you with a shell of a review. As you see, we're actually looking today at the 1988 version of yours truly himself, Donatello. Yet another gem to my whole entire action figure collection. Myself, I actually don't know if it would be a close call or a long shot, but I grew up not only with the Beast Wars, but mainly, initially, I grew up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, I got this guy from a very good friend of mine. Like I said with the Leonardo review, this guy just brings me back down memory lane, and I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him. As far as the file card itself, which I do have, just doing a quick read up on that, this is the portrait of Donatello, and you can see, nice little picture right there of him. Now, I love it how they say vital tortistics instead of vital statistics. That's actually a pretty cool thing that they implemented on these file cards back in the day. Now, he is the Turtles' creative genius. In other words, as we all know, Leonardo may lead, but Donatello does machines. So, looking on this file card a little bit more in depth, his weapons are a bow staff, turtle fist daggers, ninja stars, and the Kama. Aside from that, his birthplace was Joe's Pet Place in Slope, Oklahoma. If memory serves me right, I thought that the Ninja Turtles were all four brothers, so I'm not sure why they were born in different locations. That's kind of getting me a little thrown off guard, just a little bit. Now, as far as his height, he is 4 foot on 2 legs. So he actually does stand slightly shorter than a Leonardo, whereas Leonardo was 5'2" on 2 legs. So he was slightly shorter than Leonardo. So I mean, then again, Leonardo is the leader. I would assume that the leader would be a little bit more taller. He is 15 years of age. So got his age right there. His weight is 145 pounds with the shell. So I guess if you take his shell off, I guess he weighs a lot lighter than that. And speaking of his shell is hard as tank armor, which makes sense. I mean, he does machines. I would imagine that he probably maybe made some kind of upgrade for his shell or something. Maybe just put it on the inside of his shell. I don't know. I mean, he's a turtle. He can do anything. So aside from that, on to the read-up. Donatello is the best idea turtle you'll ever find. He is the brains of the group, and the designer of the turtle vehicles. Rather than use his bow or brawn, Donatello would prefer inventing some device or clever apparatus to foil the foe. Still, Don's one powerful reptile with his staff, which enables him to parry, vault, and crush. Even Don gets turtle-sized pleasure in stomping the foot. After a tough battle, Don relaxes by watching programs on his own invention, the Turtle Vision. The Turtle Vision. Yeah. That's a great name for it. When, you know, he probably just found a busted up TV in the sewer and just fixed it up and called it Turtle Vision. But that's as far as the read up on the card goes. He does come with a arsenal of weapons, as does the newer 2012 figure does. He comes with, obviously, his bow staff. He also comes with a Kama. He also comes with 2 turtle fist daggers, being 2 different variants. Aside from that, he also does come with 2 ninja stars, and he also comes with another bow staff. I guess in case if he loses that bow staff, he's got another one. So he's got quite the arsenal of weapons, which is actually pretty cool. How they, even back in 1988, they gave figures a lot more play value than just giving them one weapon and calling it a day. I mean, it's got a few weapons, so in case if by accident you lost one, at least you still had another weapon to at least equip him with for display purposes if you were looking for display value back in the day, which more than likely you weren't looking for display value back in the day. Back in the day you were probably young and you were probably just wanting to play around with these figures a lot. So yeah, that's as far as his weapons go. He does have the same exact articulation that Leonardo has, so he does move up and down at the shoulders, and at his wrist, his forearms, they do go back and forth from in a clock motion. His legs are only articulated at the hip, so I mean, you really don't have much articulation for these figures. Keeping in mind they are made back in 1988, so I'm not expecting much of a fully articulated figure like we are getting nowadays with our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures that are, they have like around 30 points of articulation, which is pretty decent for a figure itself. He does come with the black weapon belt. As far as that goes, he does have a spot in the back right over there. Let me bring him on closer. Right over there for his bow staff to store in, which is pretty cool how they implemented that. And it wouldn't be Donatello without having the purple bandana, the purple knee pads, the purple elbow pads. I mean, that just gives you the knowledge that, hey, he's purple. He's Donatello. He's the one with the machines. He's the one with the technology. But aside from that, as you can see from the previous review that I did of Leonardo, Donatello is a different color with his skin. He's more of a darker green, more like a dark hunter green, I want to say. So that is actually pretty awesome how they did have a variance of colors for the figures too, not only distinguishing the different color of the headband, but they also gave different colors for the skin themselves. As far as the front of the shell goes, it's still the same color, and I believe that the back of the shell is the same color as well throughout all four figures that we have gotten. I mean, I love having this guy displayed. No Turtle collection is complete without your 1988 figures. I mean, come on now. These were the figures that made the Turtles what they are today, and I love it. Just for nice little size, maybe color comparison, if you will. Let's put them on over to the side, and let's bring in the 2012 version of Donatello. As you can see, the 1988 version of Donatello is significantly shorter. They both do have the bow staff. As far as the belts go, they do have different style of belts, but you know what? I'm not going to get into all that. We're going to be coming back to this guy later on with the 2012 series of reviews. But, I mean, this guy is pretty cool. One more thing to touch on, as you notice, versus the Leonardo figure, this guy, Donatello, he's got different poses going on through the legs, and that's actually something that all the Turtle figures had. They all had different poses, so that's another thing that I liked, how Playmates actually distinguished, you know, giving the Turtles different poses and different, you know, molds. Not like they kept the same mold and just did a repaint. I like how they did that. It really does give them another A+ for creating such an amazing figure like Donatello, like Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo. I mean, it gives it more of a distinction as far as which turtle it is. And, I mean, I just love it. I love it. I recommend picking this guy up if you can find him on eBay. Granted, you're probably going to be spending a little bit more than you actually want to. You're not going to be spending the probably around $5 to $8 that these guys were actually valued at in retail back in the 80s. But I mean, I highly recommend picking this guy. Like I said, no turtle collection is complete without having the 1980s figures, so do pick them up. You're not going to be disappointed. Yeah, granted, you're not going to have the articulation that you really want in a figure, but still, it's going to be an awesome display piece for your collection. But anyway, this has been Black Scream X here, and if you like what you see, please do remember to rate a thumbs up, subscribe. The button's on your page somewhere. I know you see it. You're looking at it right now as I said it too. You know you want to push it. Go ahead. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. Don't push that big blue button. Go ahead. Push it. It's alright. Anyway, I'll be back at you with a lot more reviews, and I'll be back at you with more unboxings, because I know you guys like seeing me open up a fresh box in the mail with a fresh new or old figure in there. So stay tuned. You guys ain't gonna be disappointed. You guys have a great day.